Hello all you office workers, I'm King Link and this is my last look and review of 7 Billion Humans. Before we begin, if you enjoy this review, consider subscribing. I'm on my way to 100 subscribers and I'd appreciate your help with that. With that said, I'm going to be showing myself working on some of the alternate routes in this game. These are the harder than average puzzles, and I'll solve some of them, so if you don't want any spoilers, consider switching tabs and listening to just the audio review. I'm not going to say anything that's really spoilish, but I am showing some, slightly later gameplay. So let's begin. 7 Billion Humans is a follow-up to the popular Human Resource Machine. It is also a programming game. If you don't know, I'm a programmer in the video game industry. I program by day, I game at night, and I also review games on the side. So, this game should be right up my alley. Is it? Well, the game starts with what appears to be the singularity. All humans no longer have to work and have infinite resources, everything is bright and happy. Honestly, it sounds like a utopia. Robot overlords have taken over, but they're benevolent, they want to make humans happy. Unfortunately, in this world, humans are also complete idiots, and complain about their lost jobs. So the robots make jobs for everyone. Yeah, this story is kind of funny and silly, but I don't know if it's going to be winning any awards. It's just a reason why the robot overlords are letting the player tell humans what to do in a variety of levels. Though, there are a few cutscenes in the game that are there just for the joke's sake, and those are really funny, if I have to admit it. But there's only a couple of them, so the story isn't a big focus here. Now, the real game is going to be the programming itself. And if you're watching, you'll notice I'm dragging and dropping instructions all over the place, or copy and pasting from old programs to new ones. The interface here is a bit like the Scratch programming language, if you know what that is. If not, that's okay. Basically, you're allowed to drag and drop instructions into your program as you want, and reorder them easily. If you want to step down and pick up a cube, or pick up and drop a cube, you can drag the step instruction into the program, tell it a direction, then drag a pickup instruction in, and finally a drop instruction. It's rather simple but powerful. There's no actual typing of code, it's all mouse interface systems. Once you assemble your instructions, the humans will actually go through the process of following all of the instructions in order, and even following the jump commands or evaluating if statements, and they do it all rather quickly. If you have played Human Resource Machines, this is everything that was there, and you should recognize how I'm explaining it. However, there is one big change here. You no longer only control one human, but many. In reality, this is just a representation of multi-threading, and it's rather interesting. However, I have two big issues with this change. First, the game makes it so everyone in the game runs the same program, rather than allowing some humans to run a different program. And there are solutions to that you can get around, but it's code tricks rather than a really interesting interface solution. And it actually, I believe, limits the problem scope that the game can go into. The second problem I have, though, is the multi-threading isn't that interesting. There are some interactions, such as looking for other workers or simplistic communication between them, but for the most part you're doing the single process or idea while having to contend with obstacles. It's a shame because I love networking, I love multi-threading. It's actually one of my big skill sets that I use in my job, networking. It's just that the ideas here are very shallow. In fact, that's the theme I feel like is with this game. I'm a programmer and I sped through 68 levels in this game. I finished the main game in about 7 hours without doing some of the offshoots. And the fact is, I honestly never felt fulfilled with many of the problems of the game. There just are simple thought problems that you might give an interviewee during a coding interview. Many instructions were 5 to 10 lines long, and the longest challenges tend to be under 30 instructions. It's a shame because I really love coding, but this didn't have that deep challenge I was looking for. Think of this as a Computer Science 101 game. If you've never programmed before, it's good. It's a great introduction to programming games, and for that, it's fun. The problem is, even if you've played Human Resource Machine, you're probably going to be able to speed through this one with almost no problems after you figure out a few nifty tricks. Unfortunately, there are some other flaws rather than just that problem. Besides the difficulty, I have to be honest, I found the drag and drop interface to become almost tedious when trying to sculpt a larger program. Even when I had to write 4 different if statements, it's a pain because it's just repetition. In addition, the problems tend to repeat a bit too much, such as having to shred the lowest number in a set and then having to shred all the numbers in the set from the lowest to highest. You feel that you've done each problem once before, and I found myself copying the solution from earlier problems every maybe 3 to 4 levels, because I had solved 90% of the solution already and just needed a single tweak to get the new level solved. Now, the game does look great, and I appreciate an introductory course to programming. It's just that ultimately, that's all this is. It's not bad, but to me, this was too quick and easy. Even the optimization challenges aren't going to be that deep, in my opinion, and I just didn't feel that much enjoyment from it. I wanted a deeper challenge. Now, I do have to bring up one fact. 3 days ago, I released a review for Exapunks, another coding game. Both of these games came out in the same month, August 2018 if you're from the future. Technically I reviewed them in September 2018, but the fact is, I like Exapunks more. I don't feel that playing Exapunks right before this influenced this review or score that much, but I do have to say that after finishing 7 Billion Humans, I was glad that I could go back and get challenged again on Exapunks. I just wish that same challenge, or at least a harder challenge, could have been in 7 Billion Humans. With all that said, it's score time, and I've thought a lot about this one. I know it might sound like I'm really down on this game, but I'll admit, 7 Billion Humans is a good game. It just isn't a deep one for me. I give 7 Billion Humans a 3.5 out of 5. That's a good score for a good game. I just want more challenge, and I'll admit, I'm a programmer, I do this for a living, so maybe I'm not the target audience, but I'll also say I don't know who is, because most of the people who will want to play this game probably already like programming, probably already beat Human Resource Machine, and I wish it could have been deeper. Still, check it out if you want that introductory to programming. With that said, 7 Billion Humans has been judged. Coming up next, in my next review, is going to be a 25-year-old franchise's younger brother, hopefully a new franchise. I'm of course talking about Myst and Cyan's new game, Abduction. Look forward to that. I'm King Link. Again, consider subscribing, and I am out of here.